I'm dating for the first time in my adult life, and I'm like, what do I wear? And I'm like, Amazon jumpsuits and pants.
How long after you got divorced did you? Because you got divorced since we last spoke, unless it was
Yes.
already in the middle.
I waited.
Like
So
no
take
judgment. I'm just
no.
curious.
I waited. I know a lot of people like he had moved out. He was out of the house for a full calendar year, and I waited till I was legally divorced before I went on any dates. So I think because it takes 6 months to get divorced, so and during the pandemic it took a while to figure out how to do it. So it was like I would say like 14 months, like a long time.
That's
I was
enough.
yeah, I didn't want to bring any chaos to. I wanted it just to me, look, no judgment, but I just wanted because we were together a long time and like I just wanted to properly grieve it and kind of accept and move on. I mean, it was my decision, but like I didn't want to bring my chaos to somebody else and I knew I just needed to kind of like mourn the cycle and then like I just waited till the clouds parted and so I got divorced and then like 3 days later my friend and I went to the White Lotus Hotel for 4 days and then I came back to LA and I was like all right, I feel better. Like it felt less messy than like I'm getting divorced. Getting divorced feels messy. Like I am divorced feels like I'm
Good.
clean and clear. Yeah.
Well, like have you gone on any good dates?
It's been really interesting too. Like it's interesting dating. I haven't dated really as an adult and like it's interesting dating, liking myself now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know who I am
Yes.
more. I'm more comfortable in my own skin. I earn my own money. Like, I don't hate my body. I'm not ashamed of myself. Issues from childhood. Like, I don't feel ashamed that I grew up in a quirky family. Like, all this stuff that I used to feel like was so wrong with me or different. Like, I've done all the work. I'm like, no, I'm a pretty cool catch. Like, I am independent. I've been married. I'm not like, so to me, this is all just sort of a fun science experiment. Like I literally, I've been with my husband or like together for like 18 years. So like texting wasn't invented since my last first date. So like
Huh.
I'd never even seen an app before like 3 weeks ago. Like,
Oh
so,
my God.
so it's fast. It's almost, I'll tell you, it's like very interesting. It's fun. I'm not the Delta variant is definitely like also slow. Like it's sort of a nice slow like pumping of the like I really don't want to get the Delta variant. So like I'm not out there like making out with everybody. I'm like having meals with a bunch of people and just seeing like, you know, there's a lot of very young people that keep reaching out to
Well, I was
me.
gonna say, like, do you date? And I date all over the place with age. I
Yeah.
go young, I go old. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't really care. I think it's like I'm going out with a few very young people this weekend,
Like, what's young?
and
Like early 20s?
27, and so like, but like they approached me. I mean, it says like, so I don't know. It's really just it's interesting to sort of just even just to getting to meet different people and just to it feels like just sort of a fun it almost feels like I've landed from a different planet. Like I feel like the one person like I've never done this. And so it's so interesting.
It's like your new experiment.
Yeah, like
You know what?
apps are like these young dudes and these other like, but I go out with people that are more appropriately aged as well.
Yeah.
But like, oh, I go have tacos with somebody, or I go have a drink, and like just getting to know like, there's been no creeps. Everyone's been really nice. It's like, oh, this is so weird and fun. It's fun.
It
I
is
try to do like
fun.
one or two at most a week because otherwise it's overwhelming. So it's like I don't want to. So I do like one or two a week.
And you could make friends. Like, I've gone on dates with people and I'm like, okay, it's obvious we're just gonna be friends. And like that's great too.
Yeah, there's
I
been some
find
really
it
nice guys.
I find it's like a good experiment in the sense of like a lot of people just don't have like the right dating skills.
Right.
Like it's almost like I'm not offended because nothing could really offend me, but I'm like observing your dating skills. Like
So
I went
like
on a
what?
date
Like what's a bad one?
well, like, okay, so like I don't know, like a month ago, or whatever, I went like on a second date with this one guy. I really truly was not that interested from the
Yeah.
first date. He was actually really attractive. Like, so
Right.
looks were there, but like he was just one of these people. So I used to practice law 100 years ago. And if I told you, it's
Hot.
like,
Hot.
right, is that hot? Right.
Don't tell
Like,
Evan. He's gonna
seriously. I mean, I
a hot
practiced,
lawyer. Excuse me.
I should tell Evan. I mean, maybe I think Jackie knows for sure because she's a lawyer, but like,
Yeah, she is. Yeah, my
that's
girl
weird.
Jackie. Shout out Jackie.
Right. Jackie, we love you.
We love
But
you, Jackie.
so he was like cute or whatever, but he's a lawyer now. And so he was like a little on the first date bitter about the fact that he hates his job.
Right. I
And
know a
like,
lot of lawyers that hate
I
their
got
jobs.
out. So it's like, it's not my
Right.
fault that you got
Right.
out. And like, now I have this other job. And then he was obsessed with my podcast. He's like, oh my God, let me listen. I'm like,
Right.
new fan. Yay. But anyway, I didn't even want to
leave
go.
a review, leave a like.
Right, like leave a review. But like I didn't really want to go out on the second day anyway, but I went. And so like, listen, I don't care. So like we get there, it was like a Friday night. Like I'm one of these like, okay, like if we're gonna eat, that's fine. Like let's have our drink. Like, what's the problem? Why are we rushing through this? Like
Right.
I just want my martini. So just let me just
Right.
have
Right.
so
Right.
that's I mean, isn't that what you do with someone you like? So he was
Yes.
just like, listen, I'm not I'm not offended. It's just the principle. He's like, well, listen, I'm gonna order my meal because I'm hungry. So
Oh, he was hangry. He was
it's
hangry.
great. So it's just like, who does that? There's just
He
even with
couldn't
a
hang.
friend.
You know
Right.
what? Have a fistful of like nuts before you get there. If you're
Right.
that hungry, have some
Right.
almonds before you go.
Right. Like just don't bring whatever, like just bring your best self. And so like that's
Yeah.
not appropriate to me, but like I don't even know if it's appropriate with a friend. Like I'm not one of those like people. Like I mean,
Right.
I'm like an animal, but like when you're going, like it's like, okay, we're exhausted, let's go eat, fine. But like this was like a night out.
Yeah,
And
we're
so
going
it's
to a
just-
nice place.
To me, it's
Yes.
strange that you're done with your entire meal, and mine is like just being put into order now. And I don't really know how that's
Oh.
fun for you now that you just have to sit here
Oh,
and watch
he
me.
ate before you ordered.
Like when we
Wow.
sat down, he ate. He's like, I'm gonna order. The thing came, and like I
can't.
was like, okay, well, I still don't know what I want. I've taken one sip of my drink, and then
Okay.
as he was done, so right, so
Right.
I'm like, I don't
How did the
really
date
know.
end? How did the date end?
Goodbye, let's do something. I mean, he reached out to me again, and I think I responded, but I'm like, I don't have any interest in this. He
It's-
was really cute, really cute.
It's interesting, like, because I'd never been on a blind date before, too. So, like, because of the pandemic, too, like, I will say the pandemic definitely slowed everything down where, you know, I usually would like meet people and get a crush on people or whatever. Like, that's how I always dated. I mean, you know, and it's interesting. I'm just sort of game just to see what this is of like starting from like, okay, stranger, like the whole thing. I'm really just willing. It's definitely out of my comfort zone. I definitely panic ordered a few outfits, like
Amazon.
not spending too much money on it, but like it's sort of allowing. I sort of feel like the online stuff for me almost, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully but like that it almost feels like practice for getting out of my comfort zone for when I do meet people in my real life that really jingle my chemicals. Like, you know, when you meet somebody and you're just like lightning bolts and it's like,
Yes.
oh shit. And like, you just feel like such a weirdo, you know, like, and so
And you're
I feel like
why, and you can't really explain it.
but they
Yeah,
just,
that's
but there are
nice.
certain people that just jangle your chemicals. So I feel like this is practice for me because I get social anxiety. I get nervous around people. Actually, hosting a podcast has been good for me because I've learned how to talk to people I don't know. Like I get nervous around people,
You
and so
do?
yeah, I'm not nervous right now. But like once I know you, I'm okay. But like
Were you nervous the first time you chatted with me?
I'm
No.
nervous for everything. I get nervous.
Really?
I'm okay once I'm
No.
going, but like I just feel, even though I'm like an introverted extrovert, so like I just feel shy. It's just sort of like a leap of like, okay, here we go. And then once I'm going, I'm fine. But just sort of learning how to self-soothe, like in my own skin when I'm a little bit nervous. And so I feel like these dates with these strangers are good practice for me to sort of calm down, ask questions, get to know somebody, try to be kind, know that maybe they're nervous too, and then but like the pressure doesn't feel totally like I'm not out of my mind with like desire, like, but
Yeah.
hopefully maybe I will be on one of them. I mean, like the goal is like a yes. I mean, but there's something about like a stranger where the pressure's on a little, like it's always sort of fun when you meet somebody in real life, you start to have the flirt, like it's around your life a lot. So
It's
this is to me
easier
just feels
than
like
that. Yeah.
practice. Yeah, I feel like this is practice for me learning how to be a little bit uncomfortable, take a little healthy risk, go talk to people, how to eat in front of people neatly and not spill or get fucking greenery in my teeth. Like, we've all been on a pandemic on our couch eating with our fucking hands for a year and a half. Like,
Honey,
you
I'm
know what
not,
I
yes.
mean? Like, how do I get not yogurt and cat hair on me and go talk to somebody without like lettuce sticking to my chin?
Yes, the pandemic has not, it's been, yeah. Like
It's hard.
I've been like, huh.
And we're all, to me, I feel like now enough time has passed since the vaccines came. Like at first, Tim, I felt like we all seemed like little astronauts that had been out in our own little space. And then there was like, oh shit, we're re-entering. And even though I'm glad we're re-entering, there's like a
It was
coming back.
weird.
There's a weird re-entry to Earth where like, what do you talk about? Like, well, I've been in my house. My marriage fell apart. Like, I mean, like, what is like? We've all been in our own little pods, not really interacting with that many people, and so it's learning. Just there's that too of like socializing where we've all been in our timeout zones for a little while. Like we're all like learning how to reacclimate and just act normal again. Like,
It was
so
weird.
I'm trying to have compassion for all of this for myself. Like, I didn't think I'd be doing this again. Like, so I'm just trying to just think of it as like, this is kind of fun. It's kind of fun.
Have you done, because I think the best dating app for me is Instagram.